Smarterfan. Smarterfan. Yeah. Smarterfan.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another segment of Smarterfan Podcast, where we bring you behind the veil of sports, business, and life. I'm Joe, and this is Barry. How you doing, Barry?
As we say in Germany, sprechen Sie Deutsch. Doing
Yeah,
well, my friend. International. I'm feeling very international, Joe. I'm feeling very international tonight,
that's
but I don't
right.
want to get
That's
ahead of
right.
myself. How you doing?
All right. All right. And I just want to give a shout out to Italy and Lithuania. Thanks for listening, folks. We really appreciate you.
Wow, we've gone international.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Smarter Fan is on the map international.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we love. We love you guys. We love you out there all over the world. So what you got going on tonight?
All right. So we had talked about Leroy Jordan. And so now he was born in Excel, Alabama, and he was the fifth of seven kids. Now he was a standout at fullback in his high school, and so now he went to the University of Alabama, and he played center and linebacker there. So now in '60 he was named MVP in the Blue Bonnet Bowl in a 3-3 tie with Texas.
Wow.
Yeah, so, now he helped the Tide win the SEC championship and the national championship, in 61 with a win over Arkansas in the Sugar Bowl. So now in his senior year in 62, the Tide fell short going for another title, but they also had a young quarterback by the name of Joe Namath on that squad.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Now, in his final game with the Tide, he had 31 tackles in a 17 nothing win over Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl, and that got him his second MVP.
Wow.
Yeah, the man was a beast. So now he was picked 6th overall by the Cowboys in 63 in the NFL draft. And he was also picked 14th overall by the Boston Patriots of the AFL. So now, but he signed with the Cowboys, and he became the first rookie linebacker in franchise history to start in a season opener.
That says a lot.
Yeah, yes, it does. It does. In 65, he took over at middle linebacker, and he teamed up with Chuck Howley and Dave Edwards. And by the way, Chuck Howley was the one who won the MVP in that losing Super Bowl.
Okay, so I wasn't crazy. Okay.
Nah. So he was part of that doomsday defense.
Yeah, they used to put the hurt on people.
Oh yeah, you know that. Now in 71, he had a record 21 tackles against the Eagles.
Jeez.
And in 73, he intercepted Kenny Anderson 3 times in a 5-minute span and ran one back for 31 yards for a TD. Now, at the time that he played, he was considered one of the smallest middle linebackers in the league at 6'1" and 220.
Yeah, that's interesting. Wow.
Now, he ranks in the Cowboys history with he ranks second in Cowboy history with 743 solo tackles.
Man, it was a machine.
I'm telling you, man. And he's second in career starts with 154 behind Jason Witten.
Jeez. So he wasn't injured, and he was always available to play.
That's right. So he helped the Cowboys to 3 Super Bowls and 5 NFC championship games. And he had 32 career interceptions. Now, he was in 80, he was inducted into the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. And the College Hall of Fame in '83. Now, in '88, he received the NCAA Silver Anniversary Award. Now, how is this man not in the Hall of Fame?
Because the sports writers don't know what they're doing. I've always felt that is a flaw because it's a two-edged sword. So if you have personality conflict, that tends to override what you deserve, which doesn't make any sense for people who've never probably even played on their high school JV team.
Yeah.
I mean, your peers need to be voting you in or out, not sports writers.
Definitely.
Who make their living off of what you do or don't do.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And this is why you have these crazy situations of people like, who shouldn't be in there, who are in there.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Anyway.
So unfortunately, he passed away on August 30th at the age of 84.
Wow.
So, but the man was a machine, like you said.
Make those many tackles, and imagine if he was bigger.
Yeah, right. Right. So, but so what's going on in the baseball world?
Well, I saw some. This is why I'm such a big fan of history. I saw some. Mike Trout is probably one of those baseball players who doesn't get enough shine because I think he's just a real stand-up guy, really blue collar, really about fairness. He makes a lot of money. You know what I mean? But is not afraid to stand up for what is right. See, this is a typical type of guy who probably will try to hold out of the Hall of Fame because of personal reasons. Because he really doesn't give them any drama, any stories, any sensation. He just comes in and does his job.
Yeah.
Loves his family, does what and but his numbers are incredible. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to highlight him because he's consistent. He's just awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to talk about him. And then I saw a video clip of Ken Griffey Sr. sitting in the stands watching Junior hit his 500 home run. When I tell you this, to see the response of that father,
oh yeah,
watching his son and the hug they gave each other,
yeah,
it doesn't get any better than that.
Well, I think they're the only father-son team that played on the same team in the majors.
That again, and I see here you got me going again, Joe. Again, you got to ask yourself, why isn't that paraded and talked about? That's never going to happen again.
No.
I mean, that is literally amazing. That you as the father could be playing with your son in the major leagues and you're both in the Hall of Fame.
Yep. So.
I don't know who's doing the marketing, but they ain't doing a very good job.
Well, that's baseball in general, but that's another story.
I know.
But it's a shame that both of those players, Trout and Griffey, had injury-plagued careers. Because imagine what Griffey could have done if he stayed healthy all those years.
It's scary.
It is.
Scary. It literally is, because you look at what he's accomplished and you go, can anybody do more than that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The gloves, it's scary. It's really scary.
It really is. So anyway, week 1 of the NFL was very, very exciting, to say the least.
It was.
So Aaron Rodgers showed the Jets that he still got it.
Yeah.
He threw 4 TDs, and after the way he was dismissed by the Jets, he got the satisfaction of beating them at home.
Yeah, I heard something interesting about that too. It was kind of like, Aaron Glenn I mean, if you're going to release a guy, Chris Carter made a great point. It was like, hey, you could have just called the guy up and say, hey, we're going to move in a different direction, blah, blah,
Right,
blah.
right, yeah.
Why make the guy fly all the way from some tent in the backwoods of Wyoming to tell him that you're moving in another direction?
Yeah. But that's typical Jets, though.
And that's why they got that bad juju.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that's why they got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's that kind of stuff people don't realize that dooms your franchise. I mean, there's just some franchises that are always going to be the bottom 15.
Yep.
Because of bad juju.
That's right. So now Justin Fields, he exceeded expectations. He looked good.
Listen, let me tell you something about Justin Fields. I've been following that kid since a little bit before, pretty much when he got recruited to OSU. And then I think he left. I forgot where he went to then. And then ended up getting drafted by the Bears.
Right.
The kid can play if you give him what he needs to play. He's a dual threat. He's accurate. The biggest knock on his career is that he's not been in with very good franchises.
Yeah.
He hasn't, and very good coaching. But talent-wise, the tape don't lie.
Yeah.
The kid in Chicago was basically putting the team on his back and carrying them.
Yeah.
Then you want to blame him. You kick out the old regime. The new coach sabotages you, right? So he can get a contract extension. Drafts Caleb. This ain't no shade on Caleb. And then within a year and a half, what did Bears do? Fire Eberflus. So you ruin this kid's career to extend your career. You don't get anything done. And they get rid of you because they realize, here we go again. Another marathon with the coach who's just playing for extended contracts and not wins.
Nope. So, well, it was.
The kid has to go with this now. Wow, surprise. I said, I don't know why people are surprised. Just look at his tape.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm sorry.
Well, speaking of coaches trying to extend their career, this has been a debate that's been going on about Russell Wilson and Jackson Dart. Now, Jackson Dart they moved him to number 2.
Okay.
Which, in my opinion, I think they should have left him at 3 because Russell was running for his life all day. So they have, how many years has it been now since they've been trying to address the offensive line?
At least 5.
Yeah. So I don't want to see this kid go out there and get killed like Daniel Jones did.
See, this is the failure. And this, again, you know how this is in my craw, Joe. This is what is the reality of they make the decision to pay Jones and not pay Saquon. Saquon had been their savior for 6 years. He gets hurt because you're overusing him.
Right. Yeah.
He's your only offensive weapon. You and I can't name 3 receivers over the last 5 seasons for the Giants that made any impact. Think about that, Joe. So where's the problem? So you make the kid the scapegoat by your bad decisions. Then you end up eventually doing what? Trading Jones. You give away Saquon to rebuild again, but you still haven't gotten the offensive line. And this is, I'm glad you said what you said, because I was just kind of very surprised. Like, Russell Wilson can play, but you got to give him the pieces.
You got to give him time.
Yeah. And I saw a play on one of the highlights with the new fullback, the Scatterboro kid, right? And so he's running through the hole. Guess who's the first person he has to run over? one of the offensive linemen
Yeah, figures.
down in the red zone. So I'm sitting here going, he's coming from the backfield to the line. You're getting blown off the ball, offensive lineman, so badly that you're in the way of the running back. You're supposed to be blowing a hole. And I'm like, and you want to blame Russell Wilson. And I guarantee you, Joe, they're gonna throw that kid in there and they're gonna mess him up and he's gonna get hurt. That's their MO.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is what I see.
MO.
You know, and look what Daniel Jones did with Indy.
Yeah, I was like,
he torched the Dolphins.
Torched them.
You know, so
But
that only goes to show you, you know, what you can do when you get put in the right situation.
in the right situation. You can't do this thing by yourself. And you know how I feel about this is just like this epidemic of lazy coaching. Just this laziness of talent is enough. No, talent is not enough. Everybody's talented. You're in the league with everybody's talented. You got to have something more than talent.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. I don't know, Jude. They're just ruining the game.
Well, at any rate, the Ravens and the Bills, that was a barn burner. I mean,
man, I don't know. I'm going to make a prediction, Joe. If the Ravens don't go farther this year, it's going to prove my point that the problem with the Ravens are their head coach. Because I don't know how, as a defense, you let these guys back in the game.
Allen threw for 251 yards in the fourth quarter alone.
Listen, it's like, man, listen, you should know these guys so well, probably better than your wife. You played them so often.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you allow them to come? And you know that's their MO. And I'm watching Josh and I'm going, here he goes again. So you ask yourself, like, as a defensive coordinator, like, really? This is what we're going to do? They already knocked us out last year from going. Here we are at this point. We got them, and you let them, and you don't have no other. If you're going to beat me like that, you're going to beat me. My philosophy is you're going to beat me because I blitzed you. And you just beat me. But I'm not going to lay down and let you do that. Yeah. I'm not going to lay down. No, you're going to have to beat me. You're going to have to make great plays to beat me.
It was just crazy the way they played back in that fourth quarter. I mean, it was just amazing to watch Allen do that.
You're not going to blitz this guy. You're not going to use the clock. I mean, what are you going to do? You let them roar back all those points in the second half of the game when the clock should be to your favor. So offensively, y'all couldn't even sit on the ball when y'all got the ball back. I keep trying to tell people the problem. I ain't got nothing personal against them, but the problem is hardball.
Well, I think the tide turned when Henry fumbled the ball.
Well, he shouldn't even really have the ball.
Yeah, but they weren't stopping him all night, though. That's the thing.
No, but see, that's my point. They're not stopping him, right? You got to be able to read the tempo, right, of the situation, because you couldn't stop him, but somebody got stopped because when Buffalo scored, they got the ball back. With time on the clock. So whatever you're doing ain't working.
Yeah.
So either you got to score more points. See, this is the problem I have with hardball. Either you got to score more points, but eventually the defense is going to you're setting up. You gotta think. I gotta push the ball, and score more points. You can't just say, well, I'm going to give it to Henry left and right. No, you got to put him in a position where he gashes you, it kills your will. See, they never killed their will. That's
No,
why they let him back
no.
in a halftime. Think about that. We were trash in the first half. We come back and we stop everything they do, and you can't score any more points. And we roar back, and you can't do nothing about it.
And they got beat with a 41-year-old field goal kicker that they got from a high school that Friday. So,
See, if I was the owner, Hardball would be out today.
but anyway, what's going on with the NFL draft that you wanted to talk about?
Well, I had an interesting conversation. I don't know how these people find me, Joe. I don't know how they find me. I try to be incognito, but it ain't working. So, they were talking about talent and so forth and so on. And I said, you really don't understand sports. He says, well, why do you say that? I said, you can have a lot of talent. And I'll give you a prime example. Who won the national championship last year? You couldn't tell me. I said, Michigan. I said, do you know who the quarterback's name is? He said, no. I said, you don't find that strange? I said, do you know where he was drafted? He won a national championship. He says, I don't know. I said, that is why the draft is basically trash. Just like the voting in people into the Hall of Fame. It's a good marketing tool, and that's all it is. A good marketing tool to get your fan base hyped up about talent and this, that, and the other. But you can't name the top 3 number 1 picks over the last 3 seasons. So how relevant is it? You don't know where they're at. You don't know where they are in the depth chart. You don't know anything. I said, you can't even probably name the last 3 Heisman Trophy winners. And probably the only reason you can say Travis Hunter is because his name was blasted out there, especially off media in Colorado and what they were doing in Coach Prime. And I said, you'd be surprised how many number 1, 2s, and 3s are sitting at home right now. All Americans in college, Mr. This, that, and the other, who are sitting at home right now, or they're on a plane to Canada or somewhere else, Europe, trying to make a team. But they walked across the stage and there was all the fanfare, and I said, I'll give you a prime example of why it's such a farce. That kid that came out of Florida playing at 450 pounds, right? Yeah, I said to the guy, not only did Florida fail him, but whoever's in his circle failed him, right?
Jeez.
I said, you play on the defensive line, you play on the line, so your career is already pretty short. You can't play at that weight at the next level.
Oh,
you got to be 380, 390, else you're just going to be an injury away. And it's a bad investment. That's why you only got drafted by the Buccaneers. I said, if it was just being big and fat, you know how many guys would be in the NFL? No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. And when they told you, hey, you need to lose X amount of pounds, you should have got serious. And it's sad. You should have got serious and said, I may have been able to do this at Florida, but I can't do it here. And, the person who says, well, that's kind of harsh. I said, there was nothing saying that he couldn't go back up, but he had to show the team that he, you know what I'm saying?
Put in the work.
Let's see how you play at 380, 390. If you have more dominance with a little bit more weight, then okay. It's easy to you can put more weight on.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I can't have you come in here at 450 because what's the reality? You're going to keep going up. And you're going to get hurt or injured or unable to play in the middle of the line.
How can you move it that way?
Well, that is probably why I'm more disappointed than anything, because to be that big and to move and be as dominant as he was says that the kid is an athlete.
Mm.
So I'm like, well, hold on a minute. Let's what will you be at 380, 390? Or even 400? Let's just take 50 pounds off of you and see how you look at that.
Yeah.
You could be, who knows what you could be. And, he did somebody did something the other day, and he was talking about, well, I'm going to show you I got an opportunity with the Cleveland Browns. I said, bro, you still think you're in high school. You still think you're on scholarship. You're in the NFL, bro. You're in the NFL.
Yeah.
And you should have saw they were serious when they had you in camp, but they wouldn't let you practice. They're not going to allow you to die or drop of heat exhaustion. And it's not that level of game.
No.
It's just sad. It's just, it's just sad. And it happens all too often. It's just like, bro, you're at the University of Florida. You need to drop 50 pounds.
Yeah.
You just need to drop 50 pounds. Get in shape.
That's the term. Get in shape.
Yeah.
So.
And play it from there.
Well,
I don't know.
Anyway. Well, we're going to have to stop right there.
What? Already?
Yeah, it's time.
Well, listen, I can't believe there's something going on. I think they sped up the time, Joe. Something going on. But I want to send out a special shout out to our fans in South Korea and Canada, and in the U.S., Florida. We're getting a lot of traction from all over the world. So we just wanted to give you a shout out, let you guys know we see you, we hear you. Please keep sharing. And we are so glad you're here with us. And we'll just keep getting better and better and better on Smarterfan podcast. Because you know what, Joe? You know what we say?
Stay in the game.
Stay in the game. See you next week, folks. And have a good evening.
Take care.
Take care, buddy.
Smarterfan. Smarterfan. Yeah.